And the pastor says to the blonde, "Those aren't cantaloupes."
No, true.
All right,
Bougie.
That one. You deliver that one perfect every time.
we're ready to load it up. We're ready to start. You ready to go?
Yep, ready to
All
start,
right.
I guess. Anish,
Let's
you
put
gonna
us-
hit the? We're gonna
Yeah,
go.
you gonna put us live?
Hey guys, I want to
You
do
guys.
before we get too deep. I want to do something.
Well, we're not
I'd
deep
like
at
to
all yet.
apologize that one guy who got really offended by me making a mistake that I apologized for during the post game.
Oh no, I didn't see that. What happened?
Yeah, I made a
What?
mistake,
I
and then I
watched the whole post
apologized.
game, all 48 minutes of it.
They're
That's
long.
becoming my
Quick
favorite
guess.
bit. Is that the post game is closer to the handsome hour than the handsome hour is.
Right.
Only
The
on
post game
time.
is definitely what we
That's-
wish the handsome
that's
hour
me.
could be on the time wise. The time.
I like it that you're always surprised when I call out. You're like, "What was it? 30 minutes?" I'm like, 47. You're, what? It's great.
Time.
Don't change.
Like I
it.
look at it, and I'm like,
criticism.
oh, it's already been 15 minutes, 31 minutes. I'll look in the corner. I'm like, dang, nabbit.
No, but I like the pace. I like that we get your thoughts. Then we wrap it with feedback. I like
I
it.
love the feedback. I got to tell you, that's like my favorite thing. Like, it's kind of, it changed the show. Obviously, it changes the length of the show, but I like it a lot. I love the interaction.
I like it when.
But I
someone says
screwed
something.
up because I was so fatigued. Honestly, I started that thing at 11:30, and I was so tired. I don't know if my eyes were going crossed. I read the stats quickly, and I
What did
read
you
them
get
wrong.
wrong?
And then I was like, 2 turnovers. I don't remember him throwing 2 picks.
Oh, right, yeah.
And there's 2
remember
TDs.
thinking that
I was
stuff,
just
but
beat. I was beat. So full admission. I was. It's a long day. So
not allowed. Look,
Yeah.
man, you are paid plenty to get this stuff right.
exactly.
There's
Get
no-
it right. Nail it.
No, yeah. There's no excuses here to play like a champion.
Thank
All right.
you. I will.
It's the handsome hour. Jay, Boiler Dad, Nishi, sponsored by Home Field and AJ's. You heard that in the bumper intro. If you're listening to this recorded, but if you're listening now, you didn't hear that yet. But now you just did. So we all caught up. We good?
We got it.
It's all
Hit
there.
the subscribe on the YouTubes. Hit the little bell so that you know
Like,
exactly when we're going
subscribe,
live.
smash
Even though
that
we've
like
told
button.
you we're going live every Monday at 9 p.m. You should be here if you're not here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, we got the cross pollination with the advertisements during post games and other various quick casts. I mean, and we got the Tweeties.
Look at that.
Text Tweeties.
The Zweez? I just
Zweez?
went to Zwitter. We're not allowed to eat. He doesn't want to call it, and I won't call it X because that's stupid. So I just like Zwitter. I think that makes sense. I'm going to put Zwitter on blast here because it deserves it always. But
Yes.
I got suspended for 12 hours last night.
Hmm.
So you saw the.
Did you really?
Yes. You saw
Oh.
the.
And it wasn't Nebraska related.
No, you saw the video of. I'm assuming you saw the video of the Ole Miss a-hole who ran on the field and like confronted an LSU football player and got knocked down for it. Did you see that?
No, I saw the security guard knock the woman down.
Oh, that was terrible too. That guy shouldn't be in that job.
I mean, he took a forearm to her throat, and everybody's.
Yeah.
My brother tells a story about a female police officer back in 2000 who tried to knock him out. He tells, I mean, like it was a female police officer, and she came over to engage him, and he kind of he said he wiped her clean. He looks around, he's like, "There's like 50 people around." He's like, "What's she doing?" So it's the same thing, but it's the transverse, right? So now you've got a guy picking on a girl in heels.
Well, that's because that big fat guy couldn't get near any of the guys.
I know, he
running
was
on,
like
and she
whiffing
got
on
too
all those
close.
other
That's
people.
all.
Yep.
So he shoved her. No, this was I'll find the video and send it to you. This completely. If you described an Ole Miss frat boy,
Okay.
this is what you would picture. He runs on the field with his phone going, and he's calling LSU players pussies, and he's doing right to them.
Awesome.
And one of them he comes up like from behind, and the guy just knocks him down.
Good.
And he gets up and he keeps going at him. And someone posted it and said, "Oh, this is what happens when people rush the." And I'm like, "All right, let's stop not do this every time there's a field rushing. Like, stupid stuff happens, right? Like, And all I said was,
I'm amazed. Honestly, I love field rushes. First part. That's what I'm saying. I think Anish, you and I all
On
agree
record.
this. Love field rushes.
sure,
But here's the thing: if you rush the field and you go near a player that's leaving that just lost, be careful. This is like
and you
handling a
can,
snake.
and then you get antagonistic with them.
Yeah. Listen, now you have stepped into a realm. Go over to your team, pat them on the shoulder pads, tell them great job, yell at them, tell them awesome, right? Don't go at the opposing
It's
team.
incredible to me. But all I said was, I wish that he'd hit him harder. That's all I said. And Twitter instantaneously suspended me.
Oh,
I don't
the
mean like
algorithm
someone
gotcha,
reported me. I don't mean like someone reported me. Like
no, that's
I did it
that's-
and it popped up and it said, this violates you can't encourage violence. I was like,
What?
Well, you wouldn't want to encourage violence and hate speech on Twitter.
Right.
That would
Or
be
a coup or
ridiculous.
something.
No,
Right.
because
No,
that you were the only person that day who probably did that.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, 12 hours lockdown, couldn't do anything. And I was
The
like,
funny thing is, like, you had that long hiatus from Twitter.
yes. I don't,
Just
this isn't going
and you said it was great. It was awesome.
this doesn't make me want to come back. This is the kind of stuff that makes me, there's other things we'll probably get
You
to.
probably get on your Truth Social.
Social truth. It's starting a new
What's
one.
what's the other one that's slowly dying? The one out from Instagram.
Threads?
Threads.
Threads has a billion million users.
Threads was
because
great.
But nobody gets on it though.
No. Threads was great when when all of the advertisers went and none of the users. So it was the exact opposite of the actual business plan that you'd want. It's advertisers talking
Just
to
advertiser.
brands talking to brands.
Awesome.
It's great.
Greg says hello, hateful, violent people. Hello, Greg.
You got us.
Nailed us. Yeah,
So-
and you are correct, and that's a shame that the algorithm saw you as an instigator there. I don't understand why it picks some things up, it doesn't pick other things up. I see conflicts all the time that just pop into our feed, right? Because people start jumping on a thread,
Yep.
and it's people doing flat out mean stuff. Like Anish, you can tell me the kid, because you're good with names and you're good with recruits' names specifically. But the kid that was a point guard that was coming to Purdue and he bailed and he's going to Illinois. His mom is an absolutely. She is a blowtorch.
I'm usually stay out of this, but once you trash talk Newbert, like I'm out. Like,
Well, she
It's-
jumped
it
into
is.
a thread. Somebody said something about it was a habitual boiler said Purdue owns Illinois. It was some Photoshop thing, and she jumped on about something. Hope you enjoy this. This is the last time in 4 years you're going to have something fun happen. Purdue over Illinois or something stupid, and there was curse words in it. But she just keeps on going, cursing at people, talking trash to people. She does it all the time. That's like her job on there. But Jay mentions one thing about something that's correct. And
Right.
Listen, I don't think we're going to go over this history, but Illinois and Purdue like to think of themselves as peers in kind of academics and athletics. And in the athletic realm, I don't understand where that came from, because Purdue just keeps beating Illinois.
Right.
Like I don't quite get it, but it's great. It's the delusional fan base that nobody really talks about because nobody cares about Illinois. That's the thing. Nobody cares about you. You never won the Big Ten West. You never had a moment of relevancy in the end. It's pretty clear that the only reason why 2022 happened was because of the guy on our sidelines, not the guy on theirs. It seemed to be pretty clear. So that was fun. That was a fun weekend.
We might as well talk about Illinois since they insist that we do. That was an ass beating. That was a whipping.
Absolutely.
And
Absolute thrashing.
I said in our group chat to you, I said, I bet at halftime you didn't know you were at a blowout.
I didn't. And you remember my last comment at the end of the half? I said, this is bad football, or these are bad teams, or this is a bad team, something along those. I kind of fessed up about that in the postgame. I was like, I just thought this is two mediocre teams kind of punching each other in the arm.
Might still be.
Right? They're just kind of doing this. There's no fight here. This is just same old Purdue, Illinois garbage. And then Purdue's like, bang! Here it comes. And here comes another bang! It's awesome. I mean, Purdue, Illinois in the second half felt like Purdue versus Wisconsin, right? Where we'll pass or we'll run. It doesn't matter. You can't stop us. And guess what? On the other side, we're going to be able to get to your quarterback, and we're going to be able to knock down balls, and your quarterback's going to miss. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun all the way around.
Do you
the
think
field.
they dialed
Purdue
up
won
more...
in every category in the second half.
So is it? I know you touched on this a little bit in your post game, but or probably more than a little bit. Was that the coaches learning, or was it, as you said, maybe just playing probably maybe not the worst team they played, but definitely not a very good team. I mean,
so the funny thing, I put a parallel with Virginia Tech because they're both orange. Not really, because they're both not very good. Illinois and Virginia Tech, right? But the funny thing, Virginia Tech, since we've last seen them, they haven't put that quarterback back in. I'm told.
Yeah,
we complained about, and they're actually looking like a serviceable football
really
team.
Good over the weekend,
right? And Illinois continues to have a problem with a quarterback that misses wide open guys 3 times versus Purdue? Did we see 3?
3 wide open misses, but also there were a bunch of the wide receivers weren't doing him too many favors. Like there
Right. You'd see
were
a ball
couple
right
drop
here,
touchdowns.
and it would hit. The receiver would stop it or slow it down and then just drop it on the ground.
But skills players, so you think of Bert teams, and it's not like the skills players. It's the kind of And one thing that we were talking about offline, from this is that Illinois players are always kind of getting that extra hit in, always kind of making it a little bit extra dirty,
That
and
has
you
not
didn't know
changed.
if that was Ryan Walters' system,
Right.
or if that was Bert, like
What's
from
Bert?
Wisconsin to Arkansas to Illinois now, and
You
it
didn't
does
know
seem-
that was Bert?
How many times?
I just wanted to make
You
sure.
knew.
I
just
you
wanted
no,
to
knew.
I'm
make
with
sure,
Anish
right?
because you kind of see like that team. Who was the guy last year who's now in the NFL? That safety,
Devin,
Oh, yeah.
Witherspoon, something
Witherspoon.
like that.
Very
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
very good. Anish is like a genius.
How? I can't clear this. I
But
can't
Witherspoon,
clear
right?
this memory.
Last year, Purdue was like, I can tell you, I had had enough with that dude. By
Yes.
second or third quarter, I had had enough of him.
It's a
And seeing him get Bert to lose, I was like, that was awesome, right? So this year, I was like, okay, Witherspoon's gone. Well, that's not a problem. Guess what? Illinois is going to pick up the baton, and they're going to keep tackling Purdue after a whistle. They did it 3 times, and the Big Ten refs did nothing about it.
Yep.
Like I went back, I was watching the game today. There was one tackle where Purdue is past the yard thick paint
Out of bounds.
out of bounds,
Yep,
and he
I
gets
know
slung
exactly
down,
what
and the
you're
guy
talking
goes like this.
Yep.
The linebacker, 36 or 39 from Illinois.
That's one of the
Oh,
things where
I did this, so there can't be a violation.
on the broadcast it's so much more obvious because again we'd been going
Right.
we'd been to about half the game so far.
Yep.
And like on the seeing that in person it's a lot more bang bang, but if you see the actual replay or if you see even just see the sideline angle that the refs have, it's so obvious. How do you not call this in real
Agreed.
time? I don't get
Agreed.
it. It's great.
Hey, can you bring
Big
up
Ten refs.
Dylan's comment there? I think that's a really good one. I'll read it. Dylan says, Bert's angry waddle makes me happy. So that's something to me in person that's actually better. Seeing him waddle quickly to try to get the ref's attention because he's seen something that's egregious. I mean, it's funny on TV. Jay talked about this weeks ago. I don't know which game we were live. We were going back and forth, and you said he's waddling, and I was like, "That's awesome." I don't know why I hadn't said that, thought about it. Now everybody's saying waddling, and I'm like, man, I've missed this, but it's really the best descriptor of Bert's walk.
I feel
or
like he might
jog.
be bigger than ever. Am I
It's crazy, man.
He's a big boy. I wonder if that had.
He's a big fella.
I mean, how did you think about that coach's room last year too? You had Walters,
who
who
is
looked like
a
he could deadlift
specimen?
the back of a car. Yeah,
Gosh.
and then you got Bert, who's just eating donuts, watching him lift the car.
So I had this is awesome. My friend Ron, who I don't see him yet. He's a regular listener and watcher of the Handsome Hour. I said to him, I need an opinion because I just don't know the answer. What do you think is Bert's snack time or snack during game time? And he said, it's one of 2 things. It's a roasted turkey, a full turkey, and he rips the legs off. And he says it right away, which was great. He rips the
Means
legs
he's
off.
thought
Eats them
about
like the novelty. Yeah, he's been thinking about it exactly. Or his other thing he'll have is a full bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I said, so is there a guy there's the bucket man or the turkey man, and he's just handing him body parts of the various poultry?
It's like the Get Back coach, except
Exactly.
except it's
Yeah. And so his
Turkey.
hands by the end of the half are just covered with chicken and turkey juices.
Do you think he goes in and eats in halftime? He probably does, right?
Dude, you got to keep that motor running. You gotta fuel it. I
You
mean,
gotta fuel the 18-wheeler.
to be that size, because he's not just a large man; he's a tall man. So it's like
He's an enormous man. Yes.
you have to keep that going.
No,
it
you're
doesn't
right.
Just happen.
One of my favorite bits is anytime Purdue comes out looking flat in whatever second half or third quarter, it's the fettuccine Alfredo.
Alfredo.
at halftime.
Yes,
I
mashed
don't know why
potatoes,
it's so funny.
pasta.
This is absolutely a Bert halftime thing.
Let's
Bert,
carb up.
Bert went in halftime, carved up, sure to
Oh.
get whole cream. It's just
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh yeah. You don't cut corners for Bert. He's not going to have any part of that. It's gonna be that nice Kerry Irish butter too that's in that Alfredo sauce.
There's something funny about Illinois fans too, in that like they're so delusional about how important a program their football and basketball programs are. And
Did you see how incensed that one guy? There's one guy who loves the tiny cannon, which you think is hilarious.
Make it 10% tinier every time. 10%
But yeah, it just keeps
smaller.
getting littler. But he was so incensed that the cannon didn't come home to Champaign-Urbana. And I was like,
Sucks.
what? Why? Why do you think you own it? Because you don't. It's not your cannon.
it's called the Purdue cannon, as a matter of fact.
That's right. And it's it's a good
there was
3-inch
actually
barrel.
somebody I saw a guy on Twitter trying to do that, like trying to pretend like passively take a shot at Purdue, and it was like, it's fine, but it's one of the most depressing towns I've ever. I was like, oh my god! And somebody in the Purdue, people we I think interact with, kind of took it seriously and was like, yeah, when I tailgate or when I go to other towns, this is what I look for. And I said, what are you even doing? I said, that's just somebody trying to take like a little shot, like,
Right.
yeah, and your town sucks too. Like, oh, okay, Illinois fan. Like, well, just go to the beef house, swing by the beef house on your way home.
Beef
Like,
house.
just
It-
those stupid little like jilted girlfriend things. It's like, gosh, just stow it, man. You got whipped. It wasn't even
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
One of
I-
the
Again.
The thing that I didn't pull up before this, because even though it's a historic rivalry, we don't we don't take it as seriously. The last time, so since 2016, Illinois has beat Purdue in football once, exactly once.
Yeah. And
but
who
the
Darryl
Illinois
Hayes-
fans, the delusion of these fans think that they're going to roll in and they're just going to grab what's theirs and walk
I
out.
believe the Illinois is the only program, the only Big Ten school Darryl Hazel beat more than once, I believe, is Illinois.
I think you're
I think he's
correct.
the only road win.
Yeah,
And if you
Yeah,
want Illinois,
2013,
by the way,
2015.
Illinois fan who's listening, I'm sure you're tuning in. But that is absolutely embarrassing. You can say whatever you want. Like losing to Brom, there's no shame in that. And I don't think there's any shame, even at this point, losing to Walton Company.
No.
I really don't. Because Illinois is not very good this year. So, okay. But losing to Darryl Hazel, that's absolutely an embarrassment.
Twice. The last time he did it, I don't even remember this game. The score was 48-14.
A Hazel team did that?
Yeah. Yeah. 48.
Who was Illinois dressing at that point?
48-14.
That was Lovey, Illinois.
It
That was
was
Lovey,
it. So
Illinois.
I was thinking about this. It
Yeah.
must have been Lovey.
Yeah.
2015.
I love Lovey, too. That's the thing.
Yes.
Another reason to hate Illinois is they got rid of the most
They
likable
ran
coach
out
ever.
Santa Lovey.
Exactly.
Well, Lovey may have run
Yeah.
himself out by losing 48-14 to Darryl Hazel. But
No,
think
think
that
about
was-
how much longer he was
No,
there.
that was
he
early
was
Lovey.
there a lot longer. That's
Yeah.
why 15. I was like, is it the guy before Lovey? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So, guys, can I ask you if you see exactly what I see in the schedule? That there's a path.
Oh, hold on.
Well-
Let's not get there yet.
Okay, is it
Let's
too early?
Save it.
Let's
Save
let's
it.
stick to the game first. The
Oh,
thing,
it's
because we
delicious.
talked about
All right, Nish.
the
Do it your way.
the
Wow.
stunning thing about the game. So you're
Talk about
talking about a Bert.
football.
Exactly. No, you're talking about a Bert team. You don't usually think like you think they're rough. You think their skills players are bad. All of these things. That's fine. You don't walk in as Purdue thinking that you're going to bully an Illinois, a Bert team in the trenches. And that's exactly what Purdue did. I know we've been pretty hard on, particularly the left side of the offensive line.
Yeah.
We've been pretty hard from times on the inconsistency of the front seven.
Yeah.
Purdue bullied Illinois on both
They
sides
did.
of the line in the second half. I mean, even in the first half, and it was awesome. This is what I was saying last week. Somebody asked, "Would I rather see $1 million go to buy an offensive line every year, or to a blue chip basketball prospect?" And not even a hesitation in my mind. I just want a good offensive lineman. And that play, the play of it last week, again against. Illinois has two very good pieces on their offensive line, two future pros, but like it is a top heavy offensive line or a defensive line, and Purdue's O line just dominated, and it was perfect. They were sliding protection left. Hudson was stepping up to his right, like it was
doing
just,
what it makes sense to do, right, in this offense.
compensate for some of the weaknesses, like on the line, right? Getting players space a little bit more, even kind of going with the 3 running back strategy with Downing thrown in and sticking
Downing
with
looks good, man. He's effective. So Jay, can I pick a bone? Can I do that?
Yeah,
Is it
please.
okay?
I'm ready for it. I know it's
Okay,
coming.
I know.
Let's go.
So
Let's
so
go.
I listened to Coach Walt's comments today during the presser, and here's what he calls Maccabee. He calls him. He says we're better when he's running the ball. He says we're going to hold him accountable.
As
He said, I
opposed
had
to
a
fumbling the
conversation.
ball, you mean?
when
As opposed to
he's-
fumbling it, or
I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
fair, but that's not your issue. Is not
no.
when he's fumbling.
I would like
Is
to.
it? Am I being unfair? Because you said I just don't think he's number one running back material. Am I wrong? I don't want to.
Yeah, I want to make
really
sure
don't
we get this right because
Okay.
this
I
is
do
not
too.
a.
I do too.
This
I
is
really
not a
do.
black and white. I don't want you to paint this as, or you or anyone
No,
else.
I really don't
say-
want him to either. I really don't.
To
I
say,
really don't.
if I say I think that currently he should not be the feature back, and Tyrone Tracy unquestionably is
He's
better
the one. He's the
than
one.
okay, well, that's what I said. That does not
Okay.
mean I don't like Devin Maccabee. I would like
No,
that
no,
to
no,
be
no.
clear.
And I'm not, and I don't think it's a personal. I don't think it's a shot on him at all.
I think what I
either.
said about him is he's an all heart guy, and we all love guys like that. Like he loves being at Purdue. He's the kind of guy
Did you
him
see the way
yelling
he
with the
finished that
students.
one run where he tried to jump over two defensive backs?
I love
I
everything
was
about
like,
his
fans
approach.
love this stuff, except for
This
Jay.
is similar to, for example, if someone were to post something about how Deion Burks is reminiscent of David Bell and Rondell Moore, that does not mean that they
doesn't
do not
mean-
like Charlie Jones, for example. I would just like to
Okay.
as a for instance.
Let's explain the backstory here. So Jay, I think it's awesome. Jay puts the initiative. He puts a nice, beautiful graphic together that shows 3 Purdue greats on the same. Can I say that? Is that too soon to say 3 Purdue
It's a
greats?
little soon, but I like it. Three dynamic receivers.
3 dynamic receivers. You have Rondell Moore, David Bell, and then
And
he
now-
put the late ad of Deion Burks. I like it. I like it a lot because Burks shows, man, he is flammable. I love it. I love what the guy does. We get direct message from
Are we going to say who? Maybe we just say from a player, from a
from
former
a player. Okay.
Former
I mean,
player.
From a player.
A player in the NFL right now.
A current NFL player, ex-Boilermaker. He DMs us and he doesn't say anything. Like Jay and I are disagreeing, I think, a little bit on. I thought it was kind of nice the way he handled it. He didn't do it publicly. It was just kind of him. He did LOL. Hey, that means like, hey, you're among friends. LOL.
Is that what it means?
Lols.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it did.
When Anish
Yeah,
uses an LOL, it means he's mad.
Anish is
No,
really
I
he's
think-
a bridge to the younger
No,
people.
I think that was entirely in good faith. But he
I
was
do
like,
too. I
"Did Charlie
do too.
Jones die?"
Right.
And
so he says yes.
And that's funny.
He brings. I thought it was funny because Charlie Jones is his boy. That's really the big thing, and I get it. He wants more mentions of his pal.
Longtime Iowa standout, Charlie Jones.
Hey, long time by
Charlie Jones
Now
played
listen,
1 year at Purdue.
we already
let's
mentioned
pump the
one-
brakes a little bit.
we already
But
mentioned long time
Your
Iowa
favorite
standout
Purdue running
Tyrone
back,
Tracy.
Jay,
exactly
is also from Purdue's farm team.
correct.
My favorite. What? That's not. You can't make a
Yeah, I'm
comparison
putting
like
all
that.
sorts of words in your mouth. This is fun.
I was gonna say. What is? Anyway, let's go back to the point here is Tyrone Tracy, which I said when he wasn't getting as many touches should be the feature back, and it turns out I was correct, and I think you now agree with that. He is dynamic. He holds onto the ball. He's fast.
He's explosive.
He's elusive.
He's
I like the 1-2 idea where you can then punish them with Maccabee, right? You take Tracy off the field.
What
and
he's going to
Maccabee
do
will
is going to make
pound
you
into you.
stupid. If you're tired, you're not going to be punished by Maccabee. It's not like bringing in see Downing should have been
He
that
looks
guy,
big
right?
to me compared to Tracy looks slighter to me. Maybe that's not fair.
I don't know.
No?
If I see. Like I think Anish
Neither
said this
one is
best.
that
Like
big, yeah.
a week or two ago, you said neither one of these guys looks like a bruiser, right?
No.
Downing should be, but he's lost me. He's lost all of his weight. He doesn't.
I was
look
going
like
to say Downing looks
he's lean
thin
now,
too.
right?
He looks little, yeah.
right. Yeah, he does look little. That sounds like a gong.
Sorry,
Oh,
it was-
I know
there's
you.
All right, you're over.
here.
Boom.
There's a spring on my
Yeah, I know.
mic,
Which is
arm,
exactly
and
what you want on a microphone.
something noisy.
Get it close. Yeah, really pluck that.
I could
thing.
play like yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But no, I don't think it's
Time's up.
necessarily that you're going to be punished by Maccabee. I think you're going to be embarrassed by Maccabee if Tracy wears you down because
Yeah.
Tracy's going to hit you in the mouth over and over, like just direct, boom, 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 and then Maccabee's going to come out, and be like, woo, all this weird leg movement, arm movement, and then you're gonna grab air.
I mean,
He's-
I was surprised.
He's so unorthodox. I love him.
Because it did seem like Walters, for all of the even keel that he is, it did seem like for a little bit he was legitimately annoyed with.
Oh, he was
with
pissed off.
Lockerbie.
And he hinted at it.
Yeah.
I loved what he said though, because I watched that part of the game intentionally. When he fumbled, when Mock fumbled,
He didn't come back.
I was
for
like,
a
I
quarter.
want to see his reaction. Walt was mad, legit mad. And he said, we had a conversation on the sideline. That's what he said during the presser.
And he
I'm like,
laughed while he said it.
Yes,
like
he did.
and so it was like you knew what the conversation was,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, the Deion Burks was the other one, right on the field, right?
hold on a
Deion
second.
Burks.
It's Mitrione, by the way, guys. It's Mitrione. It's not Chucky or Chike.
Who's
It's
the
Mitrione.
UFC guy? So
Yeah.
not who messaged us. No.
But
No,
but
it's
the UFC guy is definitely Mitrione.
But
And I wouldn't talk trash about any of those people.
No,
By the
thank
way,
you.
I saw Chucky at the homecoming game.
That's awesome.
He's a giant man.
So two of the other things
And I'm
before we
not.
go on, we play the schedule game. But like seeing Deion Burks get the ball in space, get the ball with a running head start, get the ball creatively on the 20-yard line, and just allow his speed, do the thing. Like what's the fast wide receiver that used to be in KC and is now in Miami with Tua?
Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
He gets him, that young coach in Miami gets him the ball on swings
He
where
does like
he is
this.
already running like the
Yeah, but like
or the CFL.
when you can beat people around the corner who have
Dude,
the edge
had
on you,
the angle.
like, and you
That's
can just
so
go around.
awesome.
Like, it doesn't look like there should be enough field for that to be possible, and yet there's plenty.
Incredible. He's got superstar
Did you see
speed.
Did you see the little aside that how he got so lean? Did you see the pictures they showed?
The Chipotle
The
rice and
Chipotle
chicken.
thing?
He's trying to
Well,
get.
no, you were at the game, so you didn't see this on the broadcast.
No.
They showed him without his shirt on like a year ago, and then this year, and it's unbelievable. And he says he's not eating at the training table. Apparently, he's eating Chipotle chicken and rice all the time. He brings it to the meals, and somebody on the
give everybody
broadcast.
the finger when he brings it in, like a kid bringing delicious food into the lunch table.
Well, no, I think the training table is still pretty delicious.
Oh, I'm sure it's amazing.
But
I'm sure it's amazing.
They said on the broadcast he should get he should get a deal with Chipotle, and then he retweeted it this week and said, "Chipotle, let's talk." And I hope he gets something for that
Yeah,
because
me
that's. I mean, that's why
See, Chipotle. When I eat it, it makes me.
Why don't you look
the
like
runs?
that?
So that's the same thing,
It's pretty,
right? Maybe we need a
close.
deal where.
I'll take a Chipotle deal.
Goodness great! I'm telling
you
you
in
guys,
Chipotle.
that place, it's not great for me.
I'll take it.
I
I'll take
loved it. I loved it for a whole decade. It's not great anymore. Dick Stillwagon says less sour cream down. I don't even eat sour cream on it. I don't know what it's doing. It doesn't. The elements in there, it's like vegetables, grilled chicken.
It shouldn't be.
Tortilla. No, I don't even get a tortilla. I get the bowl now. I'm getting the rice. I mean, I'm Mr. Healthy guy, and it's not
I would
good.
say.
It's not
can
good.
see
I'll
your
get half spicy, half corn salsa. I think
This is where the live show makes me nervous.
That's it.
I'm
That's
always
it.
So I
worried where
do
this is going to go.
have. So I do have to say the spicy salsa. Even
That's a problem.
I will
That's a
say it
problem.
as me. It has changed. It's in like the last 2 years.
Do you think it's
gotten-
changed? I haven't changed.
It's
Are
gotten
you?
spicier. Yes.
Okay.
It's
No, I
gotten
think you've
legitimately
changed too.
spicy.
I've
Well,
definitely
yes,
changed.
maybe.
Aging is good for you for your whole system.
The other thing from the game.
Awesome.
So one is the trenches. Crazy. It was awesome. Two is getting Deion Burks the ball in space, like on the 20-yard line in motion. It's great. And then third is kind of brings us back to the beginning of the conversation, which is it that these coaches learned? And they did so. We don't have to guess. They did something very different this week, right?
I love it.
It was
Adjustments, learning.
They switched the guys that were in the booth and on the field. It's like seeing it from on high and calling it on the field. And they switched. What is it? Seth Doge? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Degi? I don't know how to say his name.
Who?
But he was the tight ends coach.
Okay.
Was on the ground, and Graham Harrell was calling the game from the sky.
And
That
Kane
made a
is in
whole
the
bunch
sky
of
as well.
sense. And now Kane is up top, seeing the offense, relaying it to Walters, and Walters is actually calling the defense. This is how they did it at Illinois. I think Walters wanted to be the coordinator. He wanted to stay away from. He wanted to empower his coordinators and be the guy. But the reason that he got the job is because he's a really, really, really good defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
And so don't take away your strengths as you're learning. As you're learning the new stuff, right?
Right.
I think there's two ways to look at this. The humility to say, okay, guys, let's move up. Let's get these guys up, right? Number one, I don't think we can discount how bad Illinois is. I'm not being funny here. I just don't think they're very good. Okay. So it's a bit of, wow, everything is fixed. I don't think everything's fixed yet. I don't think it was funny. I was surrounded by people. I mean, we're all like, okay, defense, they figured it out. The switch has been thrown. Everything's fine. They're going to be the number 2 defense in America, like last year for Walt in Illinois. Okay. I don't think we've seen that. Okay.
No.
But I do think it's a big deal for a head coach to say, guys, what can we do to make this better? Something is wrong. That to me is like the humility that Walt has shown over and over and over, saying, yeah, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah, we should maybe try something different. I'm like, okay, now, and I straddle this thing because on one side you've got, okay, this guy's pretty good. He got hired because he's pretty good at what he does, what he has done. His resume is solid. He is a good football mind. But he was humble enough to say, okay, I need to change some things over and over and over, week after week. So 3 losses, he said it every single time. And then he said, we're going to do this because we've got to get better. So that's like saying that from the player's standpoint, it almost reaffirms like, guys, listen, we get it. We're with you. We all need to get better. I'm going to sacrifice this. I know my coordinators want to be engaging with you guys. These are people, right? I mean, I think Graham Harrell is a guy that he wants to go and talk directly to the quarterback when he comes off the field, right?
Right.
It's that simple.
But but if you see there you go, name tag.
There we go. I don't know what.
But if you see the game better from the sky, if you call the game better from the box, that's the point. Like that's what.
But this is also what a young coaching staff. This is what you want out of young guys.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, it's the opposite of Ferentz and guys who say, no, I know what works and I'm not changing anything, even in the face of overwhelming evidence. Gosh, is there an example coming up of that? But this is what you hope for with a young coaching staff, right? Now the worst would be if they were young and inexperienced and making mistakes and stubborn to only doing it a certain way. That would be a problem, and they're not doing that. And there was improvement shown. I even heard you complimentary of Graham Harrell a few times. I did.
And I said, here's the deal. I've been consistently critical of Graham Harrell, and now I need to be fair and say, good on you, Graham. You did some things that were great. He had 3 drives in a row, I think.
Yeah.
Where I was like, man, this is a
creativity's coming out.
The drive right before halftime. And then it was the 2 third quarter drives.
They were awesome. The one thing that I love is like the fallback play during that period was we're going to throw it deep and we're going to rely on Card putting it in a place where it's probably not going to be an interception. He's going to go against one-on-one against one of his receivers that he believes in. If it gets knocked down, no big deal. Like, I thought that was Card's blanket. He was like, okay, sure, I'm going to throw it deep.
Going into the game, Purdue in the Big Ten had the most 10-yard completions and the least 20 or 30-yard completions. Okay. Right? And so it's like the deep threat has not been there for Purdue. And this week, at least it was a little bit more stretched.
Yeah.
And Illinois, they aren't organized very well, but they've still got talent on that defense. Mm-hmm. Like that defense still has some players on it
but that are pass good. From Card to Garrett Miller.
Yeah,
that seemed
dude, that was awesome. That was beautiful.
You talked about Card didn't have huge numbers, and I think you said something like, it felt like he had more than he wound up having.
Yeah, I thought he had 300 yards, and he had 212.
He feels weirdly efficient to me. Like they pummeled them, and he didn't need to throw for 400 yards. Right? That's kind of cool. Like I'm fine with that.
It's kind of cool. It's weird, right? As a Purdue fan, because it seems to me, especially after listening to Walt today in his post game, balance is their goal. They want to really run the ball. They want to establish the run. That's awesome. That's great. The problem that I still have is, and I think this is going to be tested this week, Iowa has some beefy dudes.
Yes.
Their front seven, their front eight is really, really strong. You're not going to be able to exert your will on them as easily or at all, maybe. I think this is where Harrell's creativity is going to be tested. Okay. On the other side of the ball, I was going to sit and tickle themselves and laugh on offense. Tee-hee-hee. Because now McNamara is gone, if you haven't heard. Okay. So here's the funny thing about this Iowa game, though. Tell me this doesn't sound familiar. Let me see if I'm testing the old guys. Okay. So Iowa's quarterback who transferred in for no apparent reason. By the way, I don't give a damn how much cash McNamara received in this NIL. I really don't. I haven't heard it and I don't know it. Why the hell would you go to Iowa? I still don't understand. Okay. Nobody can give me a good answer. There is no good answer, but he's hurt. He's out for the season.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm actually
that.
sad for the kid. But why the hell did you choose Iowa? Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. So with the second string guy, somebody said in the margins earlier, weighs like 258 pounds.
Oh, I did hear that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Gary Godsey playing at Notre Dame.
Oh, didn't he have one start? Wasn't he playing
No.
like linebacker?
He was tight end. He was
tight end, and they made him a quarterback, and he lit
Right.
Purdue up.
And so okay, yes.
Boiler Max.
Boiler
with the
Max,
comment.
right on cue.
Anyone remember Gary Godsey in 2000? Was that what it was? Do you think it was that long ago?
Yep.
2000?
And I'll tell you why I know it was that long ago. The people I was watching with where it was friends that mark it in my mind. The
Yes.
date and time. It's either 2000, 2001. But Godsey lit Purdue on fire. And that was a Joe Tiller coach team. And I'm like, this is a Purdue type of thing. Okay, we don't have any film on the guy, so we're going to make him into an All-American. It shouldn't be that way, friends, because let's think about the other end of this. Pretend for a second Hudson Card got hurt, God forbid. Holy moly. Okay.
Don't even speak it.
Yeah, I don't even want to, but pretend. And I think all of us would be like, oh shit, season's over. Right? It wouldn't be like, okay, this is going to be fun.
Next man up.
Next man up. Baloney. And at Iowa, it's worse. It's worse than it is Purdue.
Because of
nobody
their
wants to
dynamic
play
offense?
there. Huh? What'd you say?
Because of their dynamic offense?
Because
you don't think
offense.
You don't think they'll just be able to plug them right into that humming machine they got there?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell because we have lots of Purdue coaches that listen to the Handsome Hour. Here. Hold on a second. I want everybody to listen. Here it is. Gather in. Hey, if the quarterback does an option read, he's gonna keep it and test if you have a spy on him.
You think so?
Okay. They did it the last 3 effing games. They're gonna do it early. I don't give a crap if he's 258 or 200 pounds and blazingly fast. They're going to test you on the outside. They're going to do it. So here's the thing. You guys tighten things up in the second half. Let's go. Do it from the get-go. Do it from the get-go. Let's have somebody. And this week can be bigger. The spy can be bigger and slower. It doesn't need to be Yanni or whoever, right?
Yeah, but
who, by the way, had an excellent game.
Yeah,
we do have to
excellent
we've made sly comments about Yanni so far. Yanni was awesome that game, and Walters gave him the biggest compliment so far, where he was like, "Yes, OC is coming back next week, but Yanni played the best inside linebacker that's been played so far this season." That was I feel bad about saying this. I badmouth Yanni so bad about him not being able to man up because I was like, I've seen him get just pushed to the ground. Wasn't even like stiff arms. How many times did somebody hit him in the helmet and just grind him into the ground? And I was like, my dude, Yanni needs to hit the weight room, needs to get on some protein supplements. Let's go. Had a great game.
And boy, it was short yardage and that dude popped up and did his thing. And Coach Walters said he pretty much took OC Brothers minutes.
Well, and he was,
and OC Brothers is a lot of things. He's not weak.
No,
right?
he's coming back next week. He's coming back next week, but he's listed as backup, so basically the third inside linebacker. So we'll see. We'll see him, I'm sure, in terms of depth, but and coming back from the injury. So he's going to get reduced minutes. But yeah, man, shout out Yanni.
Well, so this is a good segue as we start to talk about Iowa and the rest of the season. So I think last week, you guys can correct me if I'm misremembering this, but I think what we talked about was, I think we all agreed it's year one of a new regime. It's early in that season. You can't really talk about must wins, but if you're going to have a season that's, at a minimum of what you want for the progress to continue, the momentum to continue, you do sort of need that Illinois game. And I think we all have watched enough Purdue football to know there could have been a win there that you come away not feeling really great about. because you're like, Illinois is not very good, and oh boy, they itch. And that's not what that was. That was a so. I guess what I'm building to is does that change your perspective that quickly on what the season could be? A 44-19.
It changes mine.
Blowout. I mean,
it changes mine.
Does,
I mean,
right?
am I the only one that
No.
I was like, okay.
Well, you know what it does? I'll give you one other thing.
The
I don't
light
mean to,
is there. There's a glimmer.
I don't
of light.
mean to
I'm like,
perseverate
let's bust
on-
through these rocks. Let's go.
The other point I wanted to make about the schedule, we kind of never do that thing where it's like, well, they were good enough to play with Syracuse or Wisconsin. They were, but we talked about how Purdue didn't deserve to win those games. The way they played, they did not deserve to win them. There's no debate. And yeah, you could argue they could have played with Syracuse, just like they did last year, but they didn't. The game I want back is the Fresno game. Double-digit lead in the second half. You take the lead back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You have the ball again to win at the end. Now, just think of how different you feel right now. If everything else is the same and they hold on to that and they're 3-2 heading to Iowa, think how amazing everything else the same. You feel great, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you? I mean, that's the one that's good. I knew when they lost that it was going to bother me all year because that is one of those that, man, when you're on that cusp of 5-6 wins, that's the one you want.
Right. And Anish did such a good job spelling this out last week and the week before, really breaking the season down into thirds is such a smart way to do it. And you're like, that first third, you need this many wins to get to a bowl. Like it was so simple. That middle third is a mother. It's a mother. And if you say before, okay, Nebraska's not very good, but you have to go to Nebraska, right? Iowa offense not very good. You got to go to Iowa. Ohio State and Michigan, son of a this is a horrible month.
Yes.
Right? It's a tough month. And so like all of a sudden I'm like, okay, can they win one or two? Like this, I'm starting to bargain, but bigger than that, I see realistic paths. Like last week I was like, okay, they're going to go into this month. If they come away with one win, they leave with lots of injuries and they're going to have all their psyche just blown to hell because I was like, I'll be very honest. I was like, okay, I think Purdue can beat Illinois, but I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to. I think they've got to prove to me that they can get this offense into gear at home. And boy, did they just said, hey, non-believer, that's you, B-Dowd. Here's a little something for you. I love it. I always say, Jay, you and I have talked about this since before Anish was even part of the site. We'd always say, prove me wrong, and I'll call myself out, and I'll smile doing it.
I'd love to be wrong.
I was wrong. I
would
love to be wrong this way. And I was wrong. You could hear my doubt last week when I didn't say anything positive.
Yep.
Right? I mean, I didn't have anything to say. I wasn't going to say it. They proved me very wrong. Like that second half was awesome.
How about the fact that they only have this is complete? I'm slightly jumping because I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. From after September 30th, Purdue has 3 home games in a weird season where they had 7 home games. They've only got 3 after September.
Right.
That's also, you talk about being a tough month. It's not even like you said, it's not even like, oh, they're home. The only home game between now and November 11th is Ohio State.
Would you feel better about Michigan at home?
I mean, no, those 2 games I don't feel good about because they just showed what they do on the road this weekend. I wouldn't mind Nebraska at home.
Right.
Although it is super fun to hear the air come out of that stadium. Oh,
I think the thing that we talked about and we kind of hinted at, and we said, okay, a really good quarterback that can pick this defense apart is a problem.
That's the one I wanted brought up. Matt says Kinnick is the cradle of punters.
Okay, hey guys, Iowa has a guy that Purdue has their eye on right now. Okay, they have a guy who's really good on the special team side.
I love that Purdue recruits from Iowa, like literally from the University of Iowa.
Like if you didn't see that guy return that was it a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown and think, wow, he'd look good in a better shade of gold. I don't know what you're thinking. Right away, I was like, I'm sure he's underutilized. I'm positive Tyrone Tracy knows this dude or knows his roommate. No, I'm not for tampering. I'm not going to say that. I didn't say that. You didn't hear that here.
We are totally allowed to tamper.
We can. That's true. That's a good point. Thank you. As a very, very powerful group of boosters.
Block, yes.
Yes.
The booster block.
A
here,
block
yes.
of boosters.
Cooper, you should come to Purdue, and the BS NIL collective will,
many
make
nickels
all
coming
the
right.
sweet deal.
A couple
few
of
comments.
as much AJs as you can eat.
Oh, Ed Albanese says He's clearly in the Boiler Dad negative camp. He says 2 more wins, maybe. Northwestern's proving too tough. Am I wrong? Well,
No.
Boiler Dad, there's a good setup for
not
you.
with Ed.
No,
I'm not with Ed.
There's a setup for you.
Yes.
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about the path.
Did what we call in the business a tease.
I did.
And you told everybody, and here 45 minutes in, I think you have made them all wait. It's about time. You just close the door over. No, wait, sorry, where's that going? You should deliver on what you alluded to that you were going to give everyone tonight.
Right. And by the way, so my tease, okay, so when I look at the upcoming schedule, I'm not including Iowa with a quarterback that doesn't really belong in the conversation. Like I'm not putting that Iowa team as a win. I'm not putting Ohio State as a win, but I am when I look at programs that to me, it look like the strength versus strength or the problems, a team like Nebraska should play into Purdue's strength to me, obviously. Okay. Minnesota. Okay. Minnesota is not, do not be afraid of the big goofy cartoon gopher on the side of the helmet, guys. This is not the same Coach Tight Pants of previous years. Okay. There's no boat to row. He's rowing cardboard. There's nothing underneath him. Okay. That's 2 more wins. Then let's finish it out with Northwestern. At that point, Northwestern has no depth. And I know they did a heroic thing by beating the same Coach Tight Pants I just talked about. Okay. They showed their true colors when they got their ass handed to them in the second half. And then you've got Coach Reckless. Love each other unless there's a problem at hand, and then you kick a brand new dad to the curb without any income. Damn you, Coach Allen. The thing I liked about you has now been thrown into the gutter.
I was going to say he gets his buyout. So
I think he gets paid the rest of the year. So I don't think that's
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still think it's bullshit.
Actually ideal. And of course, the niche
I was mad. I saw that. I was like,
pay me to go away to
well,
take
why
care
don't
of
you
my
give
newborn? Yes, I'll take
Why don't
that.
you
I'll
give
take
the
my year's
because
salary.
say what you said in our chat, because I don't know if everybody's aware of the Walt Bell specifics here. What you said to
and
us.
I botched it in the chat. I'll try to do a better job here, guys. Okay. So the story goes like this. That guy, what's his name? Give me the name.
Walt Bell.
Walt Bell was given the position as offensive coordinator, I believe, in camp, and he was a coordinator. What was the term?
He was like an analyst or quality
analyst.
One of those,
okay,
yeah,
one of those modern day coaches that's on staff. You don't know why he's there, but it's really just okay. We probably can use this guy. Okay,
it's a role.
He's an ex-head coach.
Former head coach.
How many wins did he have as a head coach?
It was like 2.
Yeah.
I think he was 2 and 23
like 3 or 4 years.
At
Okay, but it was at
UMass.
UMass.
Yeah. 2
Okay,
and 23.
but he's an ex-head coach. He's a young guy. Okay, but Coach Allen loves this guy. He loves everyone. He loves each other. He loves. Okay, so he says, "You're ROC. You're the guy. We bring you in. Okay, you're the OC." On September 18th, that young man has a baby, and he didn't have the baby. His wife had a baby. Okay. Quality control coach. Good guess. Motor City Boiler. Okay. But he has a baby 2 weeks ago. And this week, IU poops the bed versus Maryland. And he throws him out on his ear. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have with this. The problem that I have with this is the same guy that literally I have loved Tom Allen as a man. I've loved him so much as a man. Okay, I've loved Tom Allen. I thought Tom Allen, quality human being, that was my favorite thing about him. Obviously, he was in over his head as a coach. Anybody who sees a high school coach hired to a Power 5 head coaching position, you've got to see the problem.
He's Danny Hope of IU.
Yes, he's Danny Hope of IU, but with less experience. Danny Hope had many years as a head coach.
Well, so did exactly.
We got a few of those in the, which I love all of you for saying.
So did Tom Allen. It was just at Ben Davis.
No, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's fine. He had head coaching experience. This is head coaching experience.
But this guy, he's out now. He's out of job, and I presume he's living in a cardboard box with his baby.
Probably.
Okay, maybe that's
or sitting on his hundreds of thousands.
I'm sure he made a lot of money.
Matt says a new baby, and he gets to move out of Bloomington. That guy's life is trending up.
This guy wins. That's right. Okay, Mr. Matt DSM is the best commenter tonight. So.
I would like to, but I'd like to push back on you a little bit here. On
Sorry,
your little
still wagging.
I'd like to push back on your little love affair with the schedule. I'll give you Northwestern Indiana to end
Okay.
the season, but
Okay.
I'm not ready to just chalk up that Minnesota. Could it be a win? Sure. But
No.
he
This
played
is
Purdue
PTSD
tough.
by you, my friend.
He played. Okay, I guess
That's
Purdue's
all
going to
that
the Final
is.
Four this year
That's
too.
all
Huh?
that is. This is not
Final Four.
your
Purdue Final
son's
Four.
Minnesota team. I don't even know how to say it. They were good for a couple years.
It's
They're
not my
good
what? The
this year.
team that beat Purdue last year?
They're
Or
not
the
good
Purdue-
this year. I mean, this is a team that literally, you guys know this.
own
Like,
Jeff
I will
Brom.
tune into games just to see, okay, this has Purdue interest. And I'll be like, I'm going to watch. And I
Sure.
watch Minnesota. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa, they're really not good.
They're not good. I
They're
agree.
not good. And it's both sides of the ball. It's not just because their quarterback can't throw a forward pass.
Now, but you don't think by then they might have figured something
No.
out? Now, if they haven't, then yeah,
No.
sure, it's probably over and they're circling the drain. But Purdue will have been slapped around by Michigan and Ohio State.
That's the hardest thing, right? That they're gonna play some dudes.
I'm more worried. Tell me if you.
By the way,
agree with this.
Nebraska, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. Even if Nebraska and Iowa aren't very good, they're gonna be huge.
Yep. But here's how I feel better thanks to this past week. I actually could see Purdue beating Iowa and Nebraska. I think it's possible. I don't think they'll win both, but like I now look forward to those games more.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you? Like.
So here's the
talking about
fun part of that stretch, and people are hinting at this right over here in the margin.
Oh yeah.
And okay, listen, those games that I'm saying, like, they're nice, but if you get the Nebraska or the Iowa win, oh my gosh, guys, you're looking at the big fun time of Nashville. We're not looking at Pinstripe Bowl, friends. We're looking at the.
I feel like I am the only one who I
You're
don't
bring some sobriety into this thing?
Man, I don't care about bowls at all. I really
No.
don't.
Anish, you're missing the whole thing. I don't care about the bowls. I care about the practice.
Yeah,
That is my whole
Okay.
thing. The magic formula of the Tiller era to me is not that Tiller went to shitty bowls. Okay. By the way, Tiller did not care about bowls either, Anish.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well documented. They would
It's
go
pretty
there and he'd be
clear.
like, oh, let's enjoy the sunshine.
Have a good time, boys.
Have fun. We'll sit
See
out
you
the
at
first
kickoff.
half versus Georgia. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Now listen, those weeks of practice are absolutely program fortifying. And especially these first couple of years. These first years, I
They're
think
not
are
going to get it
extremely
this year,
important.
man. They're not going to get the bowl this year. It's
That's
insane.
okay. You can say whatever you want, but I'm going to buy my ticket to insert city here. Insert near South City.
The problem with the
I'm not
early
going to
season,
Boulder, by
the
the way.
first third of the season losses, is not the losses in and of itself. I mean, they were close. And what was nice about this win, the nicest part about this win against Illinois, is that the things that we thought we saw, the glimmers of hope that we thought we saw, were not in vain.
Were what we thought they were.
They put it all together. And it's all there. It was real. It was a blowout. It wasn't even close. So everything that we were seeing that was like, it's all almost there. It really came together. The problem is, though, there's no margin for error now. There's none.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I
if you
think that
drop-
that point that goes back a couple weeks with you.
If you
The
drop
problem is
one
you,
of those, that's
okay,
it.
Anish, smart guy. Now you need to do what Coach Walters did and zig and zag. You've got to say, hey, things have changed a little bit, man. Okay, we're gonna dance a little.
The 2 wins in the first 5 games is great. I actually do.
It's really
think-
not great,
but it's good. It's fine.
but it's fine. Exactly, it's
fine.
okay.
And
And trending in the right direction.
trending in the right. That's all I wanted. I wanted 4 wins, trending in the right direction, and going good. That's what I want, man. I know John Younger. I don't know where J Money went, but it looked like he got.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
go
yeah,
anywhere.
I thought he had a fax machine.
You guys want a little inside baseball?
A dot
You wanna know
matrix
what I
fax
did?
machine, maybe.
I started taking notes at 52 minutes. Anish says no bowl because you
Yes.
guys know I like to keep receipts.
Yes.
So freezing
Yes.
cold takes will get that.
I
when
I
Purdue-
said that at the beginning of the year. I'll
I
say that
know.
every week.
I know you.
I
say
know.
that every week. No bull, no, and it's fine. It's okay. But if what you want to see is glimmers of stardom from people like Deion Burks, the offensive line doing their things, Hudson Card staying healthy and playing well, and the coaching staff adjusting to their new roles, right? And changing things and growing and stuff. And we saw all of that this last week. That's exactly what I want to see. It's cool. Now, I will say, it's not that I don't think they're going to have surprise wins. I actually think they have a really good chance of beating Iowa at Iowa, even though that defense.
I'll tell you this much: you're going to see a very, very goofy Boiler Down if that happens.
But that defense,
I mean, like it'll be silly.
might be the best defense in the country. That is how good that defense
they're
and
really
special
good.
teams are.
They're
It
really
is
good.
incredible.
But their
and
offense is like the three of us suiting up against.
They
the
don't
college.
have one. They just don't have one.
No.
They are averaging 22 points a game. They need
And it's going to get worse.
26.75 for Brian to keep his job. I think they might get it on defense because half of their points so far have been, defense or special teams
Incredible.
points, which is great.
ridiculous.
It's incredible. It's absolutely
It's
incredible.
ridiculous that Brian Ferentz gets credit for that somehow.
Yeah, it's.
So
I mean,
garbage.
it's insane. The backup quarterback is mediocre. He's fine. He's young. He's got a really powerful arm, and he's
Was
huge.
he? What
but
type of recruit was he?
he's 3.5, like 3-4 star.
I'm not trying to get you to. Do you know who his notable offers were by any chance?
He was at Wisconsin, so he's a Wisconsin
Oh, okay.
transfer. And he was known for having a cannon arm, and they did not say how accurate he was, which means we've got we've had a couple of those here in the last
Cannons
few
aren't
years.
very accurate, notoriously.
Exactly.
Right.
So
And so, who knows? They have exactly one good target, their tight end, that also came with Cade
a big
McNamara from
honky
Wisconsin.
tight end at
Yeah.
Iowa. What a surprise!
Weird.
Or, sorry,
Next, you're going to tell me there's a really good linebacker.
I know that came. Sorry, he came from Michigan.
And he's a big
so
white
he's
guy.
a solid one. But it's like, yeah, that offense is anemic. It's under, with a new quarterback, so they're just going to run. Purdue's knowing that they're going to run, and so we'll see. I think that this is kind of where Walters may shine a little bit, and it really will be whether Graham Harrell can call a creative game, whether Deion Burks can find space, whether Maccabee Tracy can
don't need a
find some
lot,
running
though.
room, but.
You don't need a lot.
No,
you don't need to score 44. I'll tell you that.
No.
So when I say Purdue won't make a bowl, I think they'll pick off one of these games we don't think that they should, like Nebraska or Iowa or even
I think
like
they should be
Minnesota. I
Nebraska.
think at this point is now.
By the way, Doc Wattis has an excellent point. Can you bring that up?
Let's see.
Where's that? The
Doc
cannon.
Wattis says cannon arm plus 50-yard deep safety got him right where we want him.
Take
I
the
love
safety,
that
man.
point. So, by the way, John.
Or the fumble in the end zone, forced fumble in the end zone. I'll take that too.
That was great.
So the funny thing is, like, you look back, and I tried to get this. I had some really good points. I brought one of them up. Like, Illinois didn't catch the ball, Purdue did catch the ball, but I looked for a point that was like, okay, this is where Purdue broke their spirit. It wasn't like that.
Mm-mm.
Because even that sack on the 1 or 1.5 that led to Purdue falling on it, getting 6 points, that didn't break anything. That was just kind of like, okay,
Yep.
you're up by score. It didn't matter. Purdue wore them down and grinded them down.
To me, it was the way that they recovered from Hudson Card almost pulling a safety, right? So they had to punt it from the inside the 5.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
like a 50-yard punt.
Yeah,
They
it was
held
50
them.
plus.
It was a quick 3 and out, right back to Purdue, and Purdue marched down for a quick touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that response where you could have given them good field position, you could have given them a safety, and the result of that was a touchdown Purdue and a 3 and out held by the defense. That's what swung the game. Like, to me, that was the moment that the game swung. But I completely agree with you that there was no moment. It didn't look like Illinois had given up or anything like that.
No,
It just looked
no.
like they couldn't do anything. Like, it just looked like they were completely outmatched, which was
Yeah.
crazy. Illinois is bad.
Here,
Bert
I had
is not very good.
one more quote. I wanted to see what you guys. There's one other quote from the Walters presser from this morning that I thought was interesting. By the way, there's gold in the margins today. Meisterberger says an hour into the handsome hour, 1.5 hours for those keeping stats. Yeah, you're about 2/3 in of a handsome hour.
I just listened to it.
Time works differently here.
Yeah, you're in a
1.25
wonderful
speed.
time warp. Somebody, by the way, their wife calls us the pretty boys, which
That's
is
right.
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll allow it.
Yeah,
Oh, exactly. That's wonderful. But I thought this was awesome. Walter says balance leads to pace. What are your thoughts on that? Because that is completely counter Purdue
history
type of statement, right?
Yeah. I
You
mean,
think
I mean, think about every
Pace
time
has always
when
been
we
in
think
the
of
air.
pace in Purdue offense, it comes from pass, lead to pass.
Pass
run,
to set
pass,
up the
pass.
That's Purdue.
Right.
Oh, balancing that. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. It is a new. It's changing for the way that adjusting to the way that football is now. I mean,
Correct.
and Purdue was on the leading edge when Drew Brees was throwing it 80 times, right?
Right.
In 97,
Right.
right?
That stuff was uncommon then.
You saying
It's
Hudson
not
Card's going to
uncommon.
be a Hall of Famer in the NFL?
Well, he's from Austin, so
Right. Easy. That's all you need to be. That's the whole thing.
That's why I don't want to waste.
he's halfway there.
That's why I don't want to waste him. I don't want to waste him on a non-bowl season.
I
get a
don't
ball.
want
There you
to,
go.
but I think they'll pick up. What I was saying is, I think they'll pick up a win that they're not supposed to. And that's not
So
Ohio
a win
State or
this
Michigan.
month is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
a win this 1 or 2 wins this month,
One or two.
but then they will drop.
Anish, if they
That
have
is a
4 wins,
spicy. That's 4 wins. Going
If they have
into
4
the
wins
crappy
going
part
into
of the
November,
schedule,
And
my
then
friend.
and
Then
then
they're
I
going to a
think they
bowl.
drop 1 or 2 that they aren't.
No way.
Because that is what
No
it was.
way.
That was perfect. It was like that was like
Exactly.
a clown show reaction.
Took the air out of the
It was
balloon.
perfect.
There's
I
no
think
way.
that's
there's
what-
no. I got to tell you, there's no way if this coaching staff has figured that much out that they walk away with 2 wins.
Which,
in
by the way,
month of
Nebraska,
October.
Iowa, and Nebraska are both.
Yeah, let's be
technically
clear.
this month.
We're not
So,
talking
yeah,
about. We're not talking about the other 2.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
but-
Purdue beats Ohio State, guys.
that's true. Ohio State's afraid of Ross Aid because
And technically, Michigan is in November, so we're not
you
even.
didn't finish the. I said they're afraid of Ross Aid because.
Nobody comes in.
Nobody comes in.
That's
right.
right. That's right. What happened to that? You know, you were talking about. Both of you were talking about Iowa having this great defense and no offense. You know what Nebraska doesn't have? They don't have an offense, and they don't have a really good defense either. So I don't have anything really
nice.
to add.
I
It's
like
year
that.
one under rule, man.
Those are
I
some
don't-
of my favorite attributes for an opponent.
Year one under rules are always disasters, and then all of a sudden they come to life everywhere that he's been. So
Yeah, but not for like a year.
yeah,
So
no.
I
It's
think
after
this
the first
season's-
year. The year is a disaster.
I was listening to another college sports podcast, and the description of that Michigan-Nebraska game was, I don't remember seeing a 45-7 pounding, a visiting team doing that to a home team and thinking, oh, no, that wasn't indicative of just how bad this really was. And I agree, because that game was 45-0, and I think there was quite a bit of time left. And I thought, man, they might put easily over 50 on this team in their house. And then Nebraska, there was the stat they threw up on the board that was like they hadn't been shut out in like 300 games or something at home. Something insane like that. And right as they put that up, the guy busts like a 70-some yard rush for the score. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, because how much do we really pay attention to Michigan? Michigan has given up 1 score in every game.
They played nobody, but their nobodies look
Yeah,
pretty good. They look pretty good against them.
They
I
do
mean,
look
like
the part.
I've been on record that I think Penn State is the best team of the Big Ten this
And
year.
you're wrong,
Michigan
by
is
the
a
way.
lot
They
better.
showed you were wrong.
You're so
Michigan
wrong.
is a lot better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
To me, I think Ohio State's the 3rd best team in the Big Ten.
I think that could be fine, but I don't
Yeah.
think Penn State's near Michigan.
Michigan.
I think
Michigan
that might even be
looks
true,
solid.
and Penn State will still finish behind them because they'll find a way to lose to them.
No, I'm telling you, the
Penn
funniest
State
outcome
looked like absolute dog shit for 2 quarters.
The outcome I'm looking for is Penn State winning the Big Ten finally, and no Big Ten team going to the playoff. Big Ten getting shut out of the playoff.
and James
my
Franklin
dream.
being completely, bent out of shape about it. That would be so great.
good. Printing Scott Frost,
Frotz-
Scott Frost UCF champions shirts. Yes, that's exactly what I want for Penn State. That's what I want. For Penn State.
Oh man, there's already people. By the way, to put a bow on I haven't spent much time on Nebraska because really, how many times can you kick a dead horse or
Dead
whatever?
horse, yeah.
Yeah, but
I kick
there
dead
are
horses often. Yeah.
there are people out
I
there.
mean,
already
I
talking,
come over, like I'll just see him on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it makes you feel good sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That was gratifying.
There's people already talking out. You can find it's so easy to find fans already talking about him being a mistake, and I love it. I love it so much. Rule.
It's insane.
And rules are
Insane
good.
fan base.
Rules not.
No, I don't
he's
great
a-
dislike
hire.
Rule.
Great
I don't-
hire.
yeah.
He's going to be good.
He
He's
is
going to
gonna
get.
It's a bad thing for us, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's bad.
he's going to
It's
have
like
them
fickle.
good.
I mean, it's
but
not
but
quite
here's
fickle.
what you can always cling to hope. The hope that you can always cling to is that he'll get them back to what we would see is a disaster, right? A
8-9
consistent
wins.
8-9 win
Yeah.
team, and that won't be good enough, and they'll run them out of town. And I
Eight.
can't wait for that to happen too. There's no part of it that's not fun.
It's always you win regardless.
It's so fun because they'll get back to a bowl, like they'll get to 6 one year, and then we'll get to watch this once proud fan base celebrate going to a bowl, right? And then they'll get to
Watch
8 or
them
9,
freezing their ass off in New York.
right? And it won't be enough, and they'll run them off, and it'll be so great. Oh, it'll be so great.
Oh, yeah.
so great. Yeah. So
very quick, Boat Sports stats desk. This courtesy of Brian Ferentz Points Tracker. They've scored 111 points as of
in
today,
5 games.
which is 22 points per game, which includes the shutout to the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That didn't help their average.
They need 214 total points for the rest of the game, which is 26.75 points that they currently need.
No problem.
I don't think they're going to score 26 on Purdue. I'm just going to say that.
I hope not. That would be pretty bad. I would like it. I would very much not like it to happen.
Well, and what's fun about that is they have scored over 26 points, over 26 one time this year, and that was against Western Michigan. So it doesn't look good when you need to average a number you can't reach.
They just said average. They didn't say what the standard deviation had to be.
I get
they
it.
weren't getting any.
Oh, so they could win a
into
game
this.
like 115 to nothing or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
and
they
then,
can run it
yeah.
up on Purdue if they want to. But yeah, I don't. I think the defense will hold up a little bit more than that, which would be nice.
So are we we're
But-
the picks? Go
But
ahead,
if
go
we
ahead.
if we're at the pick segment,
Yes.
The spread on this game is 2.5 to Iowa,
Wow.
and the over under is 38.5.
So
20-18, baby.
I was
Let's
just
go.
going to say, I hate taking unders, but if there's a program that can convince me to take
Smash
unders, it's
unders on
Iowa.
Iowa.
I think if Purdue wins this game, it's like a 21-14 win, and then I guess I would say take Purdue and the under.
I'd say even if Purdue gets 21 points against that defense, I'd
Then
feel
they win.
great. I'd
Right.
be great. I'd feel great. And if Iowa scores 24, fine. I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, you did your job against that great defense.
But that's another place Purdue's not historically worried about going to in a super weird way. They can't go to Wisconsin, obviously,
Right.
and win. They can't go.
It doesn't make any sense, by the
to-
way. Those
right,
two
there's-
things existing at the same time don't make sense.
They don't mind when Ohio
That
State comes to
specifically.
town, and they don't care about going to Iowa. It doesn't matter what coach. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It's gonna be
There's
fine.
weird anomalies. There's like little tears in the matrix.
LBD, by the way, during dinner tonight, he said, I've been killing it. Just smash the under for Iowa all year. I said, wait a
Actually,
second.
good idea.
Wait a second. I said, number one, you're a minor. I hope you don't have a what's the
FanDuel.
yeah,
or
FanDuel.
DraftKings or whatever.
DraftKings. I said DraftKings. I said, please don't tell me you have a DraftKings account somehow. So number one, I said, do not bet on sports in college. I said, don't go down that. Numbers guys always think they can beat.
Outsmart Vegas.
Just stop. I said, just stop it right now. As a guy who doesn't bet at all, I'm terrified right now because
Just-
my friends who are accountants say, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Numbers
this is a
guys
losing
like to bet.
proposition. Just know that this is
do
entertainment
that.
money. It's like a ticket to a show or a ticket to a game. It's
I
gone
hate
money. And if you get some of
hate
it
it.
back, it's great. But you're spending it. Don't try to outsmart the system. This is it. So 20-18
always
is
lose.
basically what Vegas thinks.
Yes,
So
which
yeah,
sounds right.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel okay about this.
a
'cause
somewhat
mostly
smug
because
but
mostly
still angry
entirely-
Ferentz afterwards."
Exactly.
I love
Mostly entirely because of
college.
my disdain for Iowa, for everything that Iowa stands for. I think we've had this conversation before, right? Which is, would you take Iowa for all of your wishing about an 8.5 win year in and year
No,
out
I
Purdue
don't wanna be
baseline?
Iowa.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
not.
problem
I
is
want
you
no
you
part
put
of being Iowa.
stipulations on that.
You
like
have to be
said, well,
Iowa.
you have to be like that
It
has
would
to
be
be your
Iowa
Iowa.
and West Lafayette.
But it's
No.
with Ferentz, right?
Yeah, sure. Or with Purdue's version of fair.
And a horrible offense.
And
no.
yeah,
I think that's miserable. Every week.
miserable
It is
existence.
absolutely
It's an
miserable.
absolutely miserable existence. I don't understand how Iowa fans that are still defending Kirk Ferentz do this. It's some form of Stockholm syndrome. There are a good amount of Iowa fans that don't support this.
There's a lot
That
of
would
them.
very much like the Ferentzes to be out. thanking them for their service, or at least one of them for their service, and kicking him to the curb, and maybe bringing Bert back. Who knows? That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But like it's insane. He's allowed. This is my Iowa ISO. This is ISO. They're allowed to run a program no matter what. What could go wrong when you're the most powerful person in the state, running a football program that's allowed to destroy lives no matter what they
Niche.
do, and no matter
Matt
what
with
they
another
do, they can
Matt
do
with
what's-
another
Matt
home
has
run
been-
comment
Who is
supporting your
this?
point. If you'd like to bring that up,
Comment God.
Yeah, everything Iowa stands for, which is nepotism, racism, entrenched institutional arrogance, and mediocrity. Yeah, there you go. That's it. It infuriates.
Seriously, has
me
Matt
to
been
no end.
around him? I just missed him. I mean, like, what the heck?
It infuriates me to no end because it is rewarding this kind of not even mediocrity. It's just rewarding status quo for the sake of it, just for the sake of it being.
like
the same.
what's the fear?
Dude, they're 4-1
right?
though. This is the problem, Mike. Like
They're
we
gonna
can
win 8
argue
games.
against it, but
Well,
this is
so-
what they're always 4-1.
They might win 10 games this year.
Right.
I think they're going to win the West. But the
Right.
the flip side of this is what they look at Nebraska and they see a team in the middle of the plains that isn't one of the marquee teams that disappeared into the wilderness. Now, to me though, Iowa's baseline was not as high as 90s Nebraska, right? All you got to do is win like 8 games is at Iowa with the infrastructure that they have there. Like it shouldn't take a genius to do that. You can let go of Kirk. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
I promise. I promise it'll be okay. And maybe you'll have some 7
Dude,
wins.
that
last
dude's
year.
getting this. He's
But
getting a
you won't be
statue.
embarrassed. I mean, oh yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course he is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let him go. Let him go. Between
like-
Cobra, our friend Cobra Stats, between Kirk and Fran, who has the better? Oh, this is where J Money calls his ISO. Between Kirk and Fran, who has the better football basketball coach combo in the NCAA? First,
I thought he was.
I would like you to give your favorite Fran McCaffrey stat of all time. Can you please give me
You have it
Fran
on your
McCaffrey stat?
Rolodex ready
J
to
Money
go.
to J Money.
Oh, do you mean the stat that Fran McCaffrey has been a Division I head coach for 26 years and has never, not once been to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament?
It's
It's
astounding.
unbelievable. It
Advanced
is
past the round of
unbelievable.
32. He has made
By the
round
way,
of
and that
32.
is
That's his high
Purdue
point.
fans who are very aware of themselves saying that's unbelievable.
Right.
Hey, yes.
Right? We know what we are, and it's still unbelievable.
Oh, there's you can be down on the way last season or several of the last few seasons ended at Purdue, and you're still nowhere near as boring and mediocre as an Iowa
Just the
basketball
Iowa program. Just the
Because
Iowa
Purdue may have their big falls, but you know what you have to disappoint your fans? You have to have success. And Iowa doesn't have that in any way in Iowa basketball. They do not. Purdue wins the Big Ten all the time. They win the Big Ten tournament sometimes, and they go to Elite Eights every now and then.
When
And
they
they go to
lose
Sweet
the Big Ten
16s
tournament,
all the
Iowa beat
time. So what was that?
Iowa beat them in the Big Ten tournament
Iowa won the Big Ten tournament last year.
I
That was
know.
Fran's crowning achievement. I think
years
he's done it twice. I
2
think.
years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah.
or not
last
yeah,
year's.
yeah 22.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's 2023. So what would last year be? It would be 2022. I'm right again. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. When I said last year, that's what I
the
meant.
school year. You're talking about fiscal calendars.
I know that Iowa didn't win it this past March, you numbskulls.
They got
I
the 2
was-
rings. They showed off the
That
2
moment.
rings at the games,
Exactly.
right?
Purdue basketball team
Uh,
showed up with rings on.
but
They showed you who the
it-
champs were.
To me, I have no respect at all for what Iowa does. They're on their backup quarterback. If Cade was there, maybe, but no, thank you. They are bad.
Can you, Anish, can we get there's one more comment from Matt I want to bring back up because this
Which
one
one?
intrigues me as much as anything he said. Mr. Matt says,
Which
I
one?
used to do the call-in show.
Yeah.
Wait, nope, that's not it. Nope.
That's good though too.
Oh, sorry.
All the
It
real
is-
winning
it is
happens in the
moving.
first
Sorry,
weekend.
it's moving
anyway.
on me.
I used to do the call-in show way back when. Dude, that's a dark era. I appreciate you sticking around that long. That's
Why are people Why are people taking shots at me the last several comments, telling me to take notes?
yeah, take
Yeah,
notes,
see?
Jay.
See, Jay,
I don't even know why you're
Must be getting close to my bedtime.
Yeah,
Listen,
he's
South
getting
Haven
cranky.
Boiler,
He's getting cranky.
you want to lace them up and step into the ring, my friend.
It's pretty rough over there. He's
Close
in
to
good shape.
Bedtime.
I think Purdue has
Dialed
a good an hour 13 into this, an hour 15 into this. I think Purdue has a good shot at winning at Iowa. I don't think it'll be a blowout. Maybe
think
it will
Purdue
be
wins.
after this weekend. I wasn't expecting a
I'm not
blowout.
So I
going
think
with
you're
it.
saying Purdue's going to go undefeated from here
I'll
out.
go
I'm
take
not
it.
going mealy mouth like Purdue has a good chance. I'm calling the win. Purdue win 21-14. I think it's going to be one of those like just somehow Purdue ekes out maybe a defensive score.
Dude,
Because that's a bad offense. You know, if Iowa can do that, so can other teams against
just
Iowa's
so
terrible
bad.
offense.
It's so bad. And what you're counting on is the 21. You're counting on the points from that offense because Iowa's defense, as much as I badmouth Iowa as a program and an institution, that defense is awesome. That
They're
defense is
awesome.
really good.
Yeah, it's good, but I mean, what do they give
we got
up?
Burks.
It's
Is that what you're saying?
Burks. You got the running backs, but again, the running backs need space to work.
How much
That
does
front
Tyrone
seven,
Tracy
Iowa-
want to light that place on fire?
Oh my gosh! I mean, putting Tyrone Tracy in space, maybe him. Like I don't know if he's ever going to be on return duty anymore. Just
Guys,
because
the only good team they've faced, put up 31 on them.
Right.
So you can talk all you want about their defense. I know they're good. I don't think they're as good as you're making them out to be, Anish. I really don't. I think they're good. I think they're
I
very
hope
good.
so.
think they're very
I'd love
good.
to be wrong.
But you know what I'm saying though? Like I don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Makes sense.
they gave up 14 to Utah State. Is Purdue better than Utah State? I think so. They gave up 13 to Iowa State. I think Purdue's better than Iowa State. They gave up 10 to Western Michigan. I think Purdue's better than that. So all I'm talking about is 21 for Purdue. They gave up 16
And by the way,
to
that's
Michigan
kind
State.
of what Purdue was doing
Yeah.
before the Illinois game.
They gave up 16 to Michigan State. I will take 16 right now and actually think there's a decent chance Purdue wins.
Yeah, because what
if they
is
score
Iowa
six.
going to do? Score more than that? And if they do, we've earned it. We've earned every little bit of getting our faces rubbed in this because you shouldn't have an Iowa team score 20 on their second quarterback without McNamara, like scoring more than 20 points on you. So
Can
that's
this keep happening, guys? I don't mean to be so like
I
this is
don't
almost
know.
like the inverse of Wisconsin, right? Can this keep happening that Purdue
What Purdue
goes into
keeps-
Iowa
I
and just like has an
No.
electric game? I just feel like it can't.
Yeah, I think that was a Brahm special. I think that
Right,
was just
I
the
do too.
that was the flip side. It wasn't the flip side of Wisconsin because that is a
Doesn't
true
make any sense,
Purdue
yeah.
thing. It's a rule. It's a law of nature that Purdue will never beat Wisconsin in football.
Yeah.
But it was the flip side of the PJ Fleck thing, which is like Brahm. There's a coach that is more tenured, that runs a completely different system. All of this that Purdue should at least be even with, or that Iowa should be beating them often. And Purdue and Brahm had their number. I think that ends.
absolutely.
I think that ends with this coaching staff. But what if it doesn't? What if they keep winning? but what if it stays?
What if? What if?
Guys, 2012, Danny Hope won there, 27-24. 2017, Brahm won there, 24-15. And then in 2021, Brahm won there, 24-7.
2 years ago, I believe, LBD brought up a point that Mark Garrity talks about here. By the way, he's brought this up multiple times. He really wants me to see this. And I saw it earlier, Mark. He says they were just beating Iowa with deep routes. Okay. And it's true. So let me ask you guys a question. What have I been talking about the strength of this Purdue offense has been since game one?
Deep routes.
Speed on the outside,
It's speed. It's just speed in general.
right? Can they beat Iowa with their speed? I don't know if they have a white guy who's a freshman at corner who Anthony Mahungo can dress and just torch this year. Because that was a ridiculous performance when Mahungo went off on that dude. Right?
I think like getting Burks the ball in, like, I think Burks is faster. I would like Burks' speed against anybody in the Big Ten. Like,
Yeah. I haven't seen a corner yet.
Like the Ohio and Penn State players there, or at the very least he'd match them, right? He'd be a good match for them.
He's an equal, yeah.
Exactly. For Iowa, I can see him getting the ball in space and doing that.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see it. I'd like to
So
see safety valve.
Anish, are you guys both calling a Purdue win?
I don't know. I don't know if I can,
Kinda
but I
sounds like
think
you
I
both
don't
are
know.
to
I
me.
want to. But I think
am.
I already said I think that in this stretch, Purdue will pick up one or two games that they're not supposed
Okay.
to. I think they'll drop one or
So
two.
they're going to
that they
beat
will.
Michigan and Ohio State. Is what you're
I
saying?
would like it.
Ruin
I
the
would like
entire Big Ten.
Oh, I'd love it. It'd
That'd
be
be
the real
awesome.
return of the Diddy
And
era.
lose to
I know.
and lose to Iowa and Nebraska.
My
Exactly.
favorite. My favorite
I'll
part
take
of
it. I'll take 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 it.
Inexplicable
I'll take it.
wins and inexplicable losses. I
Yeah.
love that man. I love that man.
I'm going to say Purdue loses a heartbreaker.
I think I'm leaning that way too. I think it's
I
going to be
hope you're very right, Jay.
teens, 20s, game, but with it being at Iowa.
Maybe some dumbass tight end will have like a 90-yard run like Dallas Clark did 100 years ago. Something like that, where you're like, damn it, it's like the slowest death ever. This guy's just lumbering down the field. You're like, oh my gosh, please somebody. Oh no, you just missed the tackle. Oh no, please somebody else. No.
Hey man, Purdue's got Thieneman back there. Hit that guy, as we've talked about. It's not exciting to talk about. I know it's not sexy radio, but man, that dude is so fundamentally sound. His tackles are so good.
Purdue, hold on. But for us watching Purdue over the last 25 years, yes, anything that's not an arm tackle, it's art.
He wraps up every time. It's so good.
He wraps up every time. What did he do to get in shape this season? I cannot get over that.
Well, one of the things you talked about, and he's talked about certain things when you're watching on TV being easier to follow. One thing that's easier to get a handle on is Thienemann's constant running when you're at the game.
Sprinting,
when you're there and you see him 25 yards downfield,
play.
And he covers that ground so fast when he realizes, okay, it's a run. I got to get up there. And he gets up there so quick every play.
He's a captain. He's a captain in waiting, right? I mean, like you can tell.
If he's not a captain next year, that's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got
a good shot making the all Big Ten defense, doesn't he? This year,
I think so.
Doesn't he have a shot at that?
He'll be on one of the teams, but Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, Michigan are two.
He'll get mentioned, I guess, is my point. And to me, that's great as a freshman.
Yeah. As a true freshman,
as a freshman
that's
at
ridiculous.
Purdue. Yeah, as a freshman a safety at Purdue. Yeah, we'll take it. Yes.
Amazing.
Hey, right, Jay, did we have any Twitter?
No, nobody impresses me anymore. Maybe I'm not asking the right questions, but you guys are very lazy. You guys are very lazy. Yeah, people were complaining about being on Peacock 3 straight weeks. I know you're a big fan of more streaming services. To
me, I love spending more money. No, I really don't. But here's the thing. Here's what I do like. Okay, I will tell you guys what I like. If I spend monies, and I get a good service for it,
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Fair enough.
Peacock, you pay money for IndyCar, and they give me high definition IndyCar with really interesting guys doing play-by-play.
Vroom.
Vroom, and it's all left turns, right? Is that right, Jay? Did I say that right? So when they do my college football, when I see my Boilermakers on Peacock, it is super crisp HD. It's really good production value, and it's $6 a month.
It's better than the Big Ten.
We can complain, and we can make a moral argument and a political argument. I've seen all these, by this way, this week. I've seen all of them. And listen, you may not, guys, I don't mean to break something up. You may not agree politically with everything that's on the television. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I know all three of us have exactly the same views on everything. No, we don't. Guys, Peacock is a bargain. It's $6, and you're going to get to see Purdue play at least 3 times on Peacock.
And basketball. Basketball games are going to be on Peacock.
And you turn it off, and then you say, I don't want it anymore, and they stop it.
And if
they
you
don't
bought
do
this
anything
month,
funny.
you'd have multiple
really
Purdue
easy.
games. If you bought this month, you'd get multiple Purdue games, $2.50 a game.
I was kind of fundamentally against the Peacock thing because I thought it'd be another BTN Plus experience, and I got and
it is not BTN Plus.
What is
I hate BTN Plus.
What's BTN Plus when they force you to, when Purdue basketball is on there more than
and it doesn't work, Jay? How about that?
But what is a month? Isn't it like $10? BTN Plus?
Yeah,
it's not even the same deal. Peacock is cheaper, and the quality is so much better.
The quality is
cheaper. You're not jumping through any weird hoops to turn it off. And when you go to it, and there's like tons of choices, you can find old crap on there. If you like television, like if you like old sitcoms, if you like movies, there's stuff on there. You don't have to be a conservative or a liberal. It doesn't matter. Just buy the damn $6 thing, or come over to my house. It's fine. Either one's fine.
We'll put your address out there.
Thank you. That's a great idea. Thank you. Please do that. There's a guy in the margins that knows my address.
There you go.
So
I was impressed with Peacock.
Peacock's great.
I was I was fine with it. There were many things to complain about. Peacock. I was surprised. It's good.
Someone,
yeah.
someone did. Mark Garrity did say it's hard to do better when in terms of questions we get. He said it's hard to do better than the 5 fingers as condiments question from a few years ago. That was a good one.
That's a
It
good
is
one.
a good one.
Yeah,
It's
the
a good
bar
one.
is so
We'll come up
high.
with it.
I mean, how can we ever reach that?
We
Well, I
got to
need
come
to
up
go
with
out.
something good for the bye week.
I need to. Yeah, exactly. I got to come out with some specific something like that that triggers some real.
Yeah.
Some real.
Hey, South
would you
Haven
rather.
Boiler. Is Ray Hall? I think you got a typo in there. Is next year for Ray Hall will never win a championship. I don't know. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what
Are
that
we
means?
talking lacrosse?
Yeah, is this what are we
what's
talking
happening?
about? Bowling?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
No,
Oh,
Ray
bowling.
Hall will not
Bowling.
get close to.
Yes, bowling.
He doesn't win anything
specifically.
significant.
Yes,
Right.
I
Ray
think
Hall.
I agree with Boiler Dad that this is going to be a squeaker and a heartbreaking loss. It's gonna.
No, you gotta believe, man.
I
Gotta
would
believe.
love to again.
I-
love to
I
be
I would
wrong.
I'd love to
Love
be
to
wrong.
be wrong.
And I will be as giddy as a little schoolgirl when it happens. When Purdue beat
Still
the hell
has
out of
Iowa.
Iowa, and I was in Hilton Head watching it on a sports bar, just yelling at randos, just being like, "Suck it!" I didn't know if they were anti-Purdue, but I figured they probably were.
Probably just assume.
But yeah, they don't like Purdue,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Well,
no. I mean that was so much fun. I love being surprised. And I have last week I had a great fun second half. I got sunburnt. Let's see if my temple's still sunburnt.
yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense, by the way. Why my temples got sunburnt, but they did. Yeah, Purdue against the world, absolutely, every damn week. But Jay Money, he's the one who's carrying the banner, just like in the Civil War. He's going to lead us into battle. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Tom, I can tell you, watching Purdue basketball games with me is not fun. I got to tell you, it is not fun.
I banish everybody from my house, especially for tournament games.
Anish is
But,
right
I mean,
about
yeah.
this. Anish is right. You don't really want to watch games with people.
Nope.
No.
You want to be by yourself in a dark room with just the
Unless it's
glow of the
all other
television.
Purdue people, but even that, I don't.
Yeah.
Even that.
Football, I
You
don't
two,
mind.
by the way, are about as good as I can get. You two and maybe my younger brother.
The football,
Not my
I don't
older
mind
brother.
at
I don't
least
want
right
that.
now because there are no stakes, right? It's
Oh,
like
football
fun,
I
and
can
don't
watch with
care.
people.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm gonna probably end up
My
at
dad,
state
yeah.
college watching a game, like at a state college bar this weekend, just because it
Ooh,
is.
that
what it
sounds
is.
bad.
I don't care. It's fine. It's meaningless.
Will you wear Purdue paraphernalia?
Yes, of course. I wear Purdue everywhere.
Okay.
I don't even have I think I've got all black or Purdue.
I know
And
exactly
Jay's got gray
everything.
or
The
Purdue.
default gift that people buy me
Yes.
is Purdue things,
Right.
which is fine. I don't mind
Yeah.
it. Everybody, I don't mind. It's great. But that means, yeah, I wear Purdue wherever I am. It's not like it's a violent,
No.
dislike. It's like I'm, wearing, I don't know who Pitt's main rival is, Penn State's main rival. It's not Pitt anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't have one.
By the way,
But
how
Purdue
bad
basketball?
is Pitt? Anish, how
Oh,
bad is Pitt
Bad.
right now?
I hope that there's nothing that I want more than for Pat Narduzzi to go back home and take the Michigan
That's what
State
I'm
job.
like. Are we
It's
not
the best
talking
case
about this?
scenario.
It's the best.
It's the best
it's
case
the best
scenario.
option.
We would have another Iowa on our hands. It would be so fun.
It would be exactly
so great.
Iowa. That's what they need. They need the steadying hand of Pat Narduzzi.
The big dudes.
Eastlands.
Big
The
dudes.
dudes.
But
Dudes.
Purdue basketball, I'm not watching it with any other human. A regular season game, I'm not watching it with any other human.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's not. This is what I mean about Purdue. I said this in the opening.
There are
Maybe it was
stakes.
before the season started this year. I said Purdue football consistently brings me joy, and Purdue basketball consistently brings me ulcers or anxiety.
Just
Like,
What's up with? I mean, why can't we get joy out of November championships, Jay?
I enjoy them. No. See, I think you make that joke because we've made that joke many
But
times.
there's
I had a
joy.
great time at Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut watching Purdue hoist band.
Anxiety is not the absence of joy. Anxiety is just ulcers. It's just like it's the lows because you have to build up, like you said, because you have to build up to
Motor City
an
Boiler
expectation.
says we should do a live stream during a game like the Manningcast.
We've
I've
talked
thought
about this
that.
for a
We've
decade.
seriously talked about it for years now.
And I
Yeah, we
think
have.
some of you would enjoy it because you'd be doing the same. You'd be like, "Oh, I'm not completely insane."
So
Oh,
okay,
look at that. Or I
we
am,
can-
but there's others like me.
So here's here's the problem. It's because we can't plan the kind of we don't have foresight, so we don't know what kind of a game it'll be. I would have loved to be.
We should do. Should we do it in a preseason game just to do it?
But even for football, I would have loved to do it for this Iowa or Illinois game had we known that this Illinois game was coming. beforehand.
Well, you don't get that. That's not how sports work.
That's not-
I
that's
know.
yeah.
This is
They
why I
you
don't want to
play
do it.
to
What am I
win the
supposed to do?
game.
What am I supposed to do? Talk about Purdue as they're losing a heartbreaker? No, thank you. I'm already experiencing it once.
It might be funnier. I don't know.
It would
Frail
be
hammers,
funnier.
by the way, ballroom championships don't hit the same.
Well, they
I
didn't
just
win.
love that.
They didn't. I'd like to point out the ballroom was where they got worked. They got worked by Tennessee and someone else, and then they beat the hell out of Arizona.
Was it Mohegan Sun in a ballroom? No,
Mohegan's in an arena, you animal.
that's a real animal. That's
Yeah.
a real animal. That's
Yeah,
a real.
It's good. Yeah. Mohegan Sun, the Fighting Mohegan Sun.
The arena is actually where I believe UConn's women play a lot of their games,
Yes.
and the Connecticut Sun
The
WNBA team plays.
It's like
And
a
it's
real.
it's a
good
legit.
short
No,
arena.
it's a real arena. It's like maybe holds like 8,000. It's kind of like Rutgers in terms of capacity, but
Rutgers has all that tradition and
right,
anger.
of course. No, I've described this before. The weird thing with Mohegan is you literally are walking through there's a casino, and then there's like shops and stuff, and then there's like a door like into your gymnasium in high school where you
Right.
get the little push bar, and it's like boom, and you open it, and then you're in an arena, and you're like, how did that happen? It feels like you went through like a portal, but it's like a real like pitched arena. You know what I mean? Down to the court, and like a center hanging scoreboard, but smaller scale, the way that they were like in the like a college one would have been in like the 70s.
It's not as
or
big as
80s.
the court.
Right.
Yeah.
That's smaller. This the whole because it's only 8,000, so it's not. There's no upper deck. I actually have a lot of good things to say about watching basketball in there is very good, and it's easy to fill it, right? So you can make it kind of loud, and it's good. It's good.
I have no desire to broadcast my the shameful way that boil it down. The way that you are ashamed of yourself after football games. This is how I am after basketball. I
Dude, I'm
can't.
ashamed about it after every game.
I
I'm so
can't.
mad.
I
I
just
wish I
can't.
wasn't. It's
I
so
know.
bad.
I can't handle
You'll
it.
say I apologize to people in my house for things I
Yeah,
said.
I feel so bad. I feel about my language and my temper.
But-
And I
Oh,
don't
man.
say anything towards them, but
No,
it's
I get
just
it.
like general rage.
Yeah.
And the rage cranks up, by the way. It happened last week. I get on campus. I drop off my buddy. He's going to a tailgate. He's like, you want to come? I'm like, I can't come to that. I've got to park the car. The car's got to go someplace. We can't just hover over your tailgate. I don't have a pass for your tailgate. Okay. So I go out towards the neighborhoods to park my car for free because I'm cheap. And I just start yelling F-bombs. And here's the problem. Like, there's no reason to do that, but I'm already revved up for the game. Because you know what? I'm like, I want to get to the seat. I want to go right now and see them win in the next 5 minutes.
told you,
But the
just-
problem is the game doesn't start for an hour and 10.
We are-
Well,
We
why are
already-
all these assholes here parking their cars? By the way, guys, here's the thing. I'm going to say something I don't say a lot. I'm a man who believes in Christ. I understand my downfalls, and I feel so embarrassed that my temper is this bad for something that matters so little. Like,
That's
I'm
real
like,
to
what
me,
is
man.
wrong with me?
That's
Every
real to me.
week, what's wrong with me?
It's good. Here's what I answer always is to that. It's good to have something that allows this release that is unimportant so that you're not screaming at your wife or kicking the dog that you don't have
Right.
Kicking
You're-
a horse
you're-
in the middle of the street.
or a horse.
Kicking a dead horse on a sidewalk.
You take your emotions out on Nebraska football or on Purdue.
But men will watch Purdue sports instead of going to therapy.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. That's
Oh,
By the way,
probably
Ben
it.
Carnahan's trying to set us up. He says, what if I needed some Purdue gear? Where could I get
What
some?
if you needed some Purdue gear or any other gear? What if you need some Montana
It doesn't need to be
State
Purdue.
gear?
If you just like college sports,
Yeah.
homefieldapparel.com.
Enter Boiled 23 at checkout.
At your first purchase, you get like 1,000% off.
That's
I think
correct.
so. Give or take. We'll have to check the numbers on that.
You can check. You can check during. Yeah, I'm not a math guy. Anish is the only numbers guy of the three of us, really. Jay is logical. He's good with words. Anish is good with numbers.
Good
I'm
with
just here saying stupid things all the time,
And cursing about parking.
cursing about things that don't matter.
And
The
if you wanted
anti-tailgate.
some
Yeah,
funnel cake
exactly.
fries, some funnel. I was browsing the menu at AJ's.
I bet you were.
Burgers.
You're already getting excited about the next time you're in town. That's what you got to do.
I'm already planning it. Jay Money for the next time we will be in town. Maybe, perhaps, allegedly. Who knows?
So, by the way, Tom Headington has references a couple times that he was near me in Mackey and I was calm. So I don't know which game it was. So I went to about 6 games last year. The funny thing is the Rutgers game, I was at that loss. And I don't know if Tom was at that game. I had resigned myself to Purdue losing to that game for some reason. I don't know why. I had a great night with my wife. We went out to eat. I have a really happy picture. I think that's like right around New Year's, if I remember correctly. And like I was like, yeah, they're going to lose this game.
You were like, this is what it's like to be a Northwestern basketball fan. Just
Exactly.
like, just have a nice night out. There's no need to worry about winning.
No big deal. No big whoop.
Right. No big
Purdue's
whoop.
already been number one this season for some early non-con. Okay, so non-con, I don't have stress. I don't have stress in non-con. The closer we get to March, the problems.
But I still can't. Yeah, well, yes, I still don't. I don't enjoy watching.
Yeah,
Purdue
who knows
basketball.
why?
I don't enjoy watching Purdue basketball, even in the non-con with other people.
Purdue
around.
comes to Rutgers to Jersey Mike's Arena again this year. So my son said, "Are we going to that again?" And I was like, "I don't know. Did not go well last time."
Peichel, man. If Peichel makes a Final Four before Purdue does,
my God.
And Peichel will.
I know he's great. He's
a
awesome.
great coach.
He's gonna take wherever he's coaching next. He's gonna take.
All right, I've had enough. I don't. Now you're making me depressed. I have so much fun talking about Purdue football. Now you guys are
basketball's coming.
dragging me into
It's
basketball.
okay. We're gonna watch Purdue.
Winter's coming.
Iowa
Same
again.
thing, Jay. Basketball's coming.
We're gonna watch Purdue.
Guys,
here's the weird thing, Jay. I'll say the same thing I do to you as I do my brother. Okay. Purdue is going to win 25, 27, 30 games this year, and you're still going to leave disappointed.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't
Purdue's
worry about
football team might go 500, and you're going to be like, wee,
if we go 500, ecstatic. This is the curse of good expectations.
What's wrong with us?
I know. The curse of high expectations.
Nothing.
Doesn't everybody deserve better though?
Let's just go to Iowa. Let's worry about going to Iowa and beating Iowa.
I'm not worried about it.
Continuing
I'm
this.
not worried.
I know.
I'm really
the thing
not.
that makes me sad is after that Iowa game, the season is half over. How about that as a depressing thought?
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it because I love
6
football.
Games. College football season, the mayhem of college football, games like LSU, Ole Miss,
exactly. Like you don't have any dog in the fight at all, and you're reveling, you're just eating up with a huge ladle.
Oh, it's so good. I kept trying to go to bed Saturday night, and I kept being like, "Nope, this game's good too. I'm going to stay up for this one." Exactly. And then I thought,
I thought Utah would win, right? Oregon State.
Oh my God, that was very weird. And then I said, I looked up, Duke was down 13-0, and then they were up 14-13. And I was like,
and we were all like, they're going to lose this game. They're going to screw this up because.
But then they had Notre Dame 30 seconds left at 4th and 17, and I thought they're going to do it. They're going to actually do it and be 5-0 and be.
And you're like, I love my Blue Devils.
I've been a Blue Devils.
What am I saying? But yes, I do. I love my football Blue Devils. I hate my basketball Blue Devils. Why is that? By the way, there's a huge detach for me. Like. Duke in football uniforms, I'm like, underdog, love them. They're the best, greatest dudes ever. Love them. Same assholes in the stands.
There's nobody in the stands. I think that's the problem.
It's the same, by the way, it's probably the same number of people.
It's probably 6,000, 7,000.
I have about the same respect I have for IU football fans that I do for Duke football fans.
You should.
Again,
that's awesome.
You know what I mean? It's like if you're going to the football games there, it's like, okay, I respect it.
Except Duke is a monumentally better football program than IU.
Correct.
They've had a great coach in the last decade, right? Now they've got
multiple.
The next best big thing as their coach right now.
Multiple. They've had multiple.
They got 4 wins now. It's not hard to see them winning 8 this year. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why can't we have that? That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, we do have it. We do.
Will you like Duke's coach when he's at Michigan State next year? Nope.
No, he won't go there. He's too smart for that.
I hope you're right.
Don't say it 3 times.
I hope you're right.
Nah, Michigan State's.
I hope it's Narduzzi.
Michigan State's becoming a radioactive job.
Bring the dues to Michigan State is
perfect time for the dues to leave because it looks like the dues is burnt down pit.
Yes, please. Yes.
Goodness gracious. It'd be awesome. They need a steady, a calm force, a calm 7-win force. That's what they need.
Yeah, they're not going to win 7. Anyway, shout out to AJ. Shout out to home field.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Iowa winning streak, the inexplicable Purdue winning streak against Iowa.
Yeah.
And shout out to Deion Burks because he rules.
He's the dude. He's the dude. Love you guys. Good night.